Hey, it's Alex. Welcome to my astrology channel. Turns out making a YouTube video is really hard. I've tried countless times today, and I would, either just kind of start rambling and lose my train of thought, or the sound of my voice would really just kind of annoy me. So hopefully I'm annoying you a little bit less than I'm annoying myself. I don't know how to edit videos or make cool thumbprints or be able to show you graphs of astrology, of charts or what's happening in the sky at the moment. I would love to learn all that stuff, and I will, but if I wait for that before I make a video and kind of tell you about what's going on right now and this month, I'll never do a single thing. So it's very far from perfect, but it is what it is, and I don't want to let any more time pass by. I wanted to make this video on the 24th when Saturn changed signs, and then I want to make it a few days later when there was a new moon. Anyway, if you don't know very much about astrology at all, but you would like to learn, this is the right place. If you just know enough to be kind of intrigued, and you know what your sun sign is, and maybe even a little bit more than that, great. You're in the right spot. But what I want to tell you is that this year is a really important year with a lot of changes. It's kind of like the year of change. It's very pivotal. So, if you look back at 2024 and compare it to 2026, there's a really big chance that you're not really gonna even recognize your life, maybe in some cases, obviously not for everyone. So right now, I'm recording this. It's the very last day of May. Tomorrow is June 1st. And up until about probably mid-May, and really the end of May, this may have felt like nothing's happening. It's still, same old stuff that you've been dealing with. Nothing's changing, nothing's moving. I used to think that the new year began January 1st. It was, new year, you can make resolutions, whatever, new start. It's not. And even though I always knew that the first sign of the zodiac is Aries, which is late March and most of April, I don't think I ever really realized until the last, handful of years that actually the astrological year usually starts at the end of March. But this year, there have been so many retrogrades that it has felt longer. So all of April still felt like nothing was really happening. And now the new moon that happened May 26th was the newest point that we've had so far this year. So I don't know if you've been feeling it yet. I definitely felt just my mood generally shift and kind of shift for the better on the 24th, 25th of May. Things are about to change I think for almost everyone, really, in some way. One of the reasons is, I'm not going to go into all the different planets and how long they each take to orbit through and go around every sign. I'll get to all of that, but I don't want to do that in this video because I just want to let you know why this year is so important and why the next couple of months are so important. So I'll do a super quick little recap. Our fastest moving body, not really a planet, but we kind of treat it as a planet in astrology, is the moon. And it changes signs every 2.5 days. So the moon, takes a month. Oops. I am so sorry. I dropped my phone. See? Not perfect, but it's gonna have to do, because otherwise it just won't get done. And if I was super cool and knew how to do it, I would edit that part out, but I don't know how to do it. So anyway, I'm back. So the moon changes signs really quickly. It moves quickly. The sun, will go through every sign once a year. So it's about a month. Venus, Mars, they move. Mars is a little bit slower, maybe 2 years, maybe a little more than 2 years to go around the whole zodiac. As you kind of like go out to the further out planets, the one that's the furthest away is Pluto, and Pluto's orbit is really long. I think it's like 240 years. It doesn't stay in each zodiac sign for the exact same amount of years. It stays in some of them longer than others, but it's really long. So when Pluto goes into a sign, like it's not moving for a while. You know, we're talking decades in some cases. And in this case, Pluto moved into Aquarius for good. It had like a little entered into Aquarius for a little bit last year, and then it went out again. But I think it was in January of 2025 that it's in Aquarius to stay, I think, for like the next 20 years. So that's huge. You know, that just it's slow moving. So that's like it's not something that you feel in a day, but it's something that will affect everyone and just kind of society in general. So, okay, so Pluto changed signs. I mean, that happens, but every major planet is changing, has changed, or is about to change signs. So Neptune is changing signs a little bit later. I want to say, okay, I'm so sorry, I'm not sure, I'll have to check back, but soon. And Uranus is changing signs in, I want to say maybe July, and Jupiter is moving into Cancer June 9th. Saturn just changed signs and moved into Aries on March 24th. So basically every single thing that kind of like stabilizes our society and kind of sets the, I don't know, like the vibe, like what we're dealing with, how we think of things, you know, everything, like even like the art and the music and the films that are released, like where Neptune is kind of colors all that. So the fact that we have all these planets changing signs, it's just a lot of change. And of course there's like mathematics involved. Like, is it an exact degree? Is it, you know, making a good or a bad angle for you? And I will try to get into all that and teach you guys a little bit. I'm looking forward to that. But what I just want to say right now is, if things have not been going well for you for whatever reason, if you've been frustrated, if you have not seen any change and you are ready for change, you know, it's almost here. Like, it's here. You might not see it quite yet, but I promise it's coming. And so what happens is, we had a lot of planets being retrograde for the first few months of this year, and now everything is moving direct, and everything is changed signs or about to. So I'm just going to say, try to pay attention to like June, July, and August, because there's a few months period in the fall when some of those planets that have changed signs will go back into their old sign for a little bit. Retrograde, I'll teach you guys that at some point too, if you don't know. So there might be like a little bit of like a final goodbye, a final, you know, chapter ending to whatever was going on before all this newness. But the next few months are a great preview of 2026, when those changes are going to be here. They're going to be, you know, felt and seen and here to stay. So I would really pay attention to the next few months, you know, like I said, June, July, August probably, and just see what's going on. See which areas of your life are changing. See, you know, what if you're like feeling any different, if new people, new things come up for you, because likely there will be a whole lot of new for all of us. So thank you so much for watching. I don't know what I'm doing. I really don't. But if I waited to figure it out, I would do nothing. So I'm just putting it out there. I hope you've enjoyed listening to this. I hope that whatever it is you're going through in your life, that things are about to get better. Thanks for listening. Welcome to the Astro Mom channel. I'm going to try to make videos, I don't know, every few weeks. Maybe if I can kind of get my act together, maybe I'll do it every week. I'd love to just kind of give you like a little, I don't know, I don't want to call it like a horoscope, but like just like a little forecast, a little like what to watch for the month ahead. June's going to be a pretty good month. But I'd also love to give you guys little lessons so that if you're interested in astrology, you think it sounds interesting, but you don't really understand that much about it, and sometimes like the terms are confusing, I'm just going to break it down step by step, because I've been studying this stuff for really like the last 5.5 years now. Always loved it, always knew all about every sun sign, but sun sign is just like such a tiny part of astrology. It's nothing. It's like knowing what state somebody's from, you know. It's better than knowing nothing. So if you know somebody's from New York or from Texas, that's better than knowing nothing. But lots of people in Texas, lots of people in New York. So we are all complicated, multi-layered beings, and a sun sign is just one thing. So I've just been blown away, but all the stuff that I have learned, and I've tried to pay attention and track things in my life and in the life of people around me, and you know, just to see how much effect these things really have. And you know, I've got thoughts and I will let you know them. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Bye.